And now that they're done with their hate fucks, let's find out what's gonna happen. Lotus's hair flared out like a mane of an angry lion, and she roared with a voice that shook the walls. With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her. Next time on 9 Hours Z, Junpei, read the rest. Right. Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the 6th piece of paper. He opened it. June wants door 6. Yes, I don't really have a reason, I just felt like it. All the papers save Junpei's had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head. People who requested door 1, Ace and Clover. Obviously that doesn't work. This is door in A deck near the central staircase. People who requested door 2, 7 and Lotus. Obviously doesn't work. This is door in bottom deck and should be reached by taking the elevator to the bottom of the ship. People who requested door 6, Santa and June. This was door in E deck and could be reached by taking the elevator near the central staircase down. It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7th piece of paper and spoke. Okay, the last one is mine. I want to go through 6. I want to go with June. I want to go through door 6. Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. He read Junpei door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all. That's a problem. June spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she said. None of the teams will be able to go through the doors they want. Clover and I chose door 1. Lotus and I chose door 2. That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however. The digital routes don't match up either. We've got a similar problem. June and Junpei and I all want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're going to open that door, we need a 1. Damn, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do? Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence. Why don't 7 and Lotus go through door 1? With me? Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. 7 and Lotus looked at each other. 7, 8, 4, 19. 1, 9, 10. 1 plus 1 0 is 10, 1. First problem solved. Ace spoke up. What about me? Isn't it obvious? Another one of the teams just complaining they didn't have a 1? You mean I should join Santa's team? Yes, please! This would give me a great opportunity to hang out with the characters I haven't been with yet. Actually, let me mark down who I have hung out with so far. Mountain? Santa? No, I haven't hung out with Santa yet. Ace? Lotus? Clover? I hung out with Snape, didn't get to hang out with 9. So June and Santa are the only 2 I haven't hung out with yet. And Ace, of course. So cool. This would be an excellent opportunity. Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl only a few hours ago. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so, I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door. No one will be left behind. This seems like the most reasonable solution. 7? Lotus, what do you guys think? I don't have a problem with it. Me either. Alright then, we're good to go. Yeah, poor Clover. At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was, near the main staircase. See, I'm kind of concerned about why we did the voting thing to begin with, but I know why, I think. Junpei had a plan. Junpei didn't want the person who was, the killers and everything, to manipulate everyone and say, I want to go to this door, I'm going to be the first one to say, so I called dibs, which has been happening. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck where door 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. The ride to E deck was a silent one. Alright, let's go. Santa's words jolted them to action, and they stepped out of the elevator into a long straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6. One by one, they put their palms over the red. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. The door opened, and all at once the 4 of them leapt through it. Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one. It's door 9, the ship is upside down. You both had the similar idea, that is so great! How are you two in sync so often? It stopped. Yes, it stopped. The countdown has ceased, but... Oh, wait, I am hanging out with Santa. Right, that is everybody on the list. 9 I didn't have a chance to hang out with. This lets me hang out with every single person. Cool! I can't believe I managed that. That is super convenient. The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat. He'd been through the doors 3 times before, but repetition had not dulled the experience. He was not anxious to find it dulled, however. He hoped to be free of this ridiculous game long before that happened, which I have a phone call! Give me a moment. Or it immediately hung up on me. Whatever. I'm gonna text my mom real fast because she's on a very long trip. Telling her to have fun. 9th man equals dead, and 6 equals 9 door. It's a curse. He hoped to be free of this ridiculous game long before that happened. Totally forgot about the 9th man thing. Alright, let's go. With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door. It was a heavy thing, made of iron and more than a little threatening. Come on, phone, work with me here. He took hold of the bar that served as a doorknob and shoved it down. 9 jokes. The room beyond him stopped him in his tracks. This is a big room. It was gargantuan, made entirely of metal. None of the accents of wood or tile had seen the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous. Oh, what the hell is this? Santa got out a few words before awe stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than gasps. It was easily the largest room they'd seen, and it was somehow closed and oppressive. The ceiling was at least 2 stories high, if not significantly more. It was easily several hundred feet across, and appeared to stretch the entire width of the ship. In the center of the gargantuan room stood a massive rounded building. Even from a distance, by the sheer bulk of it was oppressive. Junpei could feel the room, the building, and even the air pressing down on him. Junpei and the others were standing in scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. Santa Claus? DJ Beats, the reason why he's called Santa is everybody has a code name. In the beginning of the game, everybody chose a code name except for Junpei. And Santa, who is number 3, San in 3 is in Japanese is 3, so he just decided to call himself Santa. Yeah, the functional room related to the ship is gigantic. It's not even just that. It's a room with a building in it. It's ridiculous. Junpei and the others were standing on the scaffolding and crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that doesn't seem particularly important. Alright, let's head downstairs. Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them. Yeah, everybody's codename has to do with their number. 7 just said, I'm going to be called 7. But everybody else is based on the number. San for Santa for 3. Ace for 1, because Lion is, the old dude is 1. Lotus is 8, because there's 8 petals on a lotus. Snake was 2, because snake eyes, if you roll them on a dice, is on a pair of dice, is a 1 and a 1, which equals 2. Clover is 4, like a 4-leaf clover. 9 never gave his name, or it gave a name before he died. 6 is June, because it's a 6 month, and it's close to her name. They moved around toward the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace had suddenly spoken up. This looks like to be the steam engine room. The steam engine room? Yes, this thing looks like a cross-section of the mushroom is the boiler. So you can see the 3 round doors near the bottom. Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam. The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger. I see. Even if Ace was right, the boiler was boiling around nothing as they approached it. The entire room was silent as the grave. Suddenly, Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees. You never went through 6? Ooh. Hey, what's wrong? Are you alright? He dashed toward her and wrapped his arms around her shoulders to steady her. She did this before, but last time we thought it was a reaction to seeing a dead body. It was then that he noticed. But she was feverish. You're really warm. Is your fever coming back? Yes, it probably is. But I'm fine. Please don't worry about me. I just need to rest, and I'll be fine. Her voice was weak and forced, and it was a great deal more than her words, and it said a great deal more than words did. Junpei carried her nearest wall and propped her up against it. She let her head fall back against the wall, as if she no longer had the strength to support it, and drew a ragged breath. Her eyes were empty, as if she had trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball into a fist and clenched tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn. They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern. He didn't need words to express the urgency of their situation. Alright, let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon. Because it rhymes with mine. But if it was Clive, then he would have to be in a Professor Layton game. Spoilers. She managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Yeah, she's super sick. Seek a way out. Alright, steam engine room. There's our view from above. This is a very big room. So let's get started right away with what's in front of us, huh? It's a square hole. Nothing in here. Look at the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots, terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps. You mean you think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps. I wish I could give Santa a better voice, but... like, there are certain voices that I've heard other people do that I really want to try to do, but I don't think I can do well at all. So I need to practice them in my off time. But I'm really mad that I've never gotten a really good solid voice for Santa. He's basically just mine with a slight change. And I'm a weeb for knowing that. Look at the button. It's glowing orange, right? It's gotta mean something. I guess pressing it is the best way to find out if it does something, Santa. Nothing. This button is glowing orange. Nothing happens when you press it. Okay. I'd say this is probably to move coal from place to place. It probably comes from over there. And then the belt carries it down the tunnel and out there. So if the conveyor belt is moving, yes, the coal would almost certainly come out here. A tunnel. It goes all the way across the ship. There's a huge oven for this boiler. There are 3 open areas in it. One of the open areas has a gear in it. A huge bronze gear. This has to be important. The gear's rusty, but it looks like it's still pretty sturdy. There's a small door on the side of this tunnel. It's welded shut and won't open. The conveyor belt runs like sort of an arched tunnel. No, wait, that's a different room. A golden gear. It doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well then, imagine it was prepared especially for this game. This gear's rusty, but it looks solid, pretty sturdy. Conveyor belt runs into a sort of arched tunnel. And it looks like there's a door over there in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into the door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. There's a bunch of wooden boxes over here by the wall. I already looked into those. There's nothing there. It's a solid metal gear! Technically true. Their two columns are different from the others. The lights are red. The three siders on the left are down, but this one is up. There are a number of lines engraved into these. I suspect we are meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'd respond somehow? Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Sliders down. Guess Ace really feels like giving this a try. Nothing. It won't move at all. Alright, so let's prepare something somewhere else then. One of the doors on the furnace. Very nice to listen to, by the way. Yoshkev, I appreciate that a lot. I try and put some effort into giving characters voices, and I get a lot of compliments, which I'm surprised by. This isn't something I've tried to do before streaming and YouTube, so if people like it, I'm cool with practicing and getting better at it. One of the doors on the furnace, there's an A on it. There's a circular wheel at the center of the door. Alright, let's give that sucker a twist. It's funny that I always give, like, the main character my voice, and I really don't consider my voice a main protagonist voice. I'm more of the shit-talking sidekick kind of voice. Well, it's noisy, but it opens, and it's totally pitch black in there. We should go in here? Alright, let's go. This looks just like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. There's a C, which puts us over here. There's a wooden box hanging beneath the catwalk. There's a wooden box on the end of the rope hanging from a winch. It looks like there's something in the box. And it looks like a hand-operated winch. It doesn't look like there's any way to operate it. That means the wheel isn't attached. Yeah, we need to attach a wheel. 999AU, we're Zero Psychomantis. You're a shut-talking sidekick? I don't know what a shut-talking sidekick is. Hand-operated winch. I didn't see a wheel to operate it, though. The furnace on the for the enormous boiler says C on the door. Alright, back through here. We haven't found anything to hold on to yet. Nothing, no items. A whole bunch of boxes in the way. I can't get through. We played a Metal Gear game, always wanted to, but so many games by now. My understanding from folks who are really into it, like Excessive Profanity and some other folks, they recommend you start with 3, because there's not so many references and that you can't play it without it being connected to the other games, even though it is connected in a way. But it introduces enough of the mechanics and is probably easier. But I've seen almost all of them played. They're not really my style, and the only one I played was the remake on GameCube for the first one. There are a number of boxes on the catwalk. I don't think we can go over there. Not unless we go through these. Wait, that's a different number. No, there's the winch. Wait, it's a different winch. Okay. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Ugh! Oh shit. Well, we have the wheel now. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. You're a big fan of stealth games and you haven't played Metal Gear Solid. Wow. That's pretty unusual. Hand-operated winch. There's no wheel to turn it. Oh yeah. I've got a wheel I pulled off the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. If I did, it would start with the first one, though. Well, it's up to you. My understanding is the recommendation to start with 3 usually comes from folks who aren't into stealth games very much, so they don't understand the mechanics too strongly. So if you understand the mechanics fine, then yeah, start with 1. Sweet, it's a perfect fit. Like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all? Good, I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see, the wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? It looks like there's some sort of device in that box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might be able to turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you. Alright, I'll turn the wheel. Oh, what's this? What happened? The wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left. That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah, we can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. We will simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat. Yoshkev, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I just never can find a good place for that notification to pop up, though. Like, no matter where I put it, it's blocking something. So I guess I'll just put it back to where it used to be over the game itself, and hope I can see it. Mark of the Ninja, I've played some of it, but I don't own it. It does sound fun. Have I played Ghost Trick? I have. Unfortunately, though, I probably won't be playing it because it wouldn't be a blind playthrough, and that's definitely one of those games you want to do a blind playthrough of. A regular playthrough doesn't have nearly the same impact for streaming on YouTube. I believe the box has reached the floor. Yeah. He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk was now sat on the floor. It had come to the rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt, near where June had collapsed. Junpei could see her, still leaning against the wall as if she barely had strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body. She doesn't seem to be improving. Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they'd all been thinking. Well, of course not. She's not going to get better right away, you know. It'll take time. He tried desperately to convince himself that's what he said was true. What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps? Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion. Senta's response was confident and certain. She has dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder than that we aren't freaking out like her, you know? We play a sequel for this game on stream. This game has a sequel? I didn't know this game had a sequel. Well, if it does, as long as it's not on the 3DS, I could probably play it. So, you're saying we're abnormal? Yeah. We're just running around this room solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs. Sim snorted in disgust. A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying? Virtue's Last Reward for Vita and 3DS. Can't do it! I don't have the means to record Vita or 3DS. But Virtue's Last Reward, I will write it down as something to keep an eye on. So give me just a second, because I don't want to miss that. Put it, like, over here, maybe? Virtue's Last... No, I'll put it on this list. I've got a lot of lists that I have on my computer. Virtue's Last Reward. There we go. Dunno, but it does seem like a possibility, you know? With that, he turned and walked away from the winch. There's also a third game coming out next year? Man, that's awesome! I didn't know this was going to be a series. I thought it was a one-off thing. 150 minutes of a single frame on a ship on the bottom of the sea. Truly riveting. Disgaea 5. I don't play much of the Disgaea series, but hey, Blue Mage Danny. I forgot to say hi to you when I saw your thing earlier. Junpei and Ace followed him. You know, speaking of experiments, Santa suddenly stopped. There's this experiment some scientists did with rats. There's a lot of experiments like that. First, they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown. The tank had two exits, A and B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat couldn't see anything. Exit B, however, is electrified. It means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would the rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose? There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded. B, of course. The rat had no way of knowing that exit B is electrified. Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rats can't get out that way. So after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A. I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment. You're right, it isn't very interesting. Yet. These scientists repeated the experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats for several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation of rats, they took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in a tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But even that wasn't the most impressive thing. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory far from the original one with the same results. Now, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in the second experiment began the trials with significantly faster than the first rats of the initial experiment. These rats were not related to the rats in the first experiment, and had never even come in contact with them yet. I think I see where he's going with this, and no. There's no sort of shared genetic memory or telepathic communication between the species. No, you're just being silly. You have to perform an experiment many, many times before you find some sort of connection like that. They all easily found their way to exit A, as though they already knew. What did it mean? Are you suggesting something like telepathy? Collective unconscious theory? Yeah. This shit is getting Persona. They were passing information to one another through an undetectable medium. Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at him. How the hell should I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know the story's true. And if you got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. There's plenty of explanations! You told us nothing about the experimental details. Go sit down and read your frickin' conspiracy theory books about aliens and magic and bullshit like that. Yeah, we explained it before, Danny. Everybody's named after a code name for a number, and San is Japanese for 3, and he's 3. You're on a time limit, everyone's got time to tell you stories about strange experiments. Yeah! I love that we keep stopping and doing this shit, too. It's hilarious. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out. Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. You're the one that held us up! Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the topic alone. Hey, wait. There's something I want to ask you. Santa stopped and turned around. Why did they use that tank for the experiment? Huh? Well, I mean, it's like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown? Santa gave a grim bark of a laugh. You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that? Actually, only Santa is the one that does the Japanese thing. Everybody has their own logic. It's... June is 6, 7 just calls himself 7, 3 is Santa, 1 is Ace, 8 is Lotus because there's 8 petals on a lotus, 2 is Snake because of snake eyes if you roll dice, Clover is 4 because of 4-leaf clover. Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration. Inspiration? Well, I don't know. I don't know what's Japanese. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pull up what you need. So an emergency, a real potential... emerges? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. It's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for their inspiration to emerge. Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Alright, back through C. Catwalk. Through A. Stairs down. Let's go find that box. There you are. Control panel for something. I wonder what. Open sesame. Clicky. Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. There's only one way to find out. In you go. Dude, you did it! Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, let's do that. Pushing! Sweet! All sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And, oh, yes, I think I heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look! The conveyor belt's moving. Conveyor belt? Well, I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal in the belt, though. Looks as though a bunch of it got dumped off on the end of the belt into that wooden box where we found the control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? Yay! A box filled with coal. Dump it all! Dump it! Dump it! Fall off! Go! It won't fall off. A wooden box full of coal. Guess there's really only one thing we can do with this stuff. It's coal. It's shiny and black and coal-like. There's a small door on the side of the tunnel. It's welded shut and won't open. Conveyor belt runs in a sort of arch tunnel. Alright, so where's the thing he mentioned? Oh, this one isn't gold. It's a silver gear. You think it's made of pure silver? No way. Silver's way too soft to use for a gear. There's gotta be steel or iron gear that's been coated with silver. Ugh. Shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. I shouldn't have gotten your hopes up. Where do you think we could haul this thing back? Nah, but I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you? Possibly. There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Look, Ace! Got a snowman's secret meeting! Those are just bags full of sand. Use them as counterweights when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. Nope, don't want to do that. I didn't check this stuff out. Santa had a box of coal. They missed a joke there. What is this? Given its placement, this must unlock the door to the left. There's a weird indentation on the top of this thing. I think that means you have to insert something here. Yeah, so I would imagine so. Looks like the thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like it's an outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other at a triangle. There's a thick iron door blocking our way. You think this is... Yes, it looks like the exit. Looks like this door slides up to the ceiling. A winch, rope, and a hook. There's nothing left on it anymore. Comes a sort of arch-shaped tunnel. The thing is huge. Guess a ship needs something like this to power it. True, but I doubt a single boiler of this size could move a ship at any reasonable speed. We need at least 3, no 4 of these. Huh, I guess you know a lot about boats, huh? Well, not really. There's just common sense, you know. No, Ace definitely knows a lot more about ships than he lets on, because he totally talked about this ship before. YGS 100 tomorrow. I don't know what that means. Let's see if we can do anything with this. Nothing happens when I move the slider down. Slider's down. See if I can get this thing to go anywhere. Man, no dice. This thing isn't going anywhere. There are a whole bunch of lights here. Most of them are yellow, except for 2 columns on the right. Alright, I guess we keep going. Hand-operated winch. There's no wheel on it anymore. Snake is missing, you ass butt. Kind of like an M. Now that I think about it, it is. Specifically missing his internal organs. Too soon, Sir Matt! There's a catwalk over there. Yeah, if by catwalk you mean narrow strip of metal. Junpei, are you brave enough to cross that? If you were to fall, you do realize broken bones would be the least of your problems. Okay, I'll take that as a no! Where am I supposed to put this coal? Junpei, do you really think you should be paying so much attention to the conveyor belt? Yes! Because I'm lost, I don't know what to do. I have to find somewhere to put this coal, but everywhere I don't think I see anywhere to put it, except you're supposed to shovel it into, like, there. But they're all welded shut and won't open. Or you shovel it from there onto these? I don't know. I don't think I understand this area very well. Let's check the camera. Go back down. I want to be over here and look at this. Got a feeling it's important. Oh, hello. There's a hole that's left to put coal in the furnace. Maybe if we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Okay, let's do it. Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess we should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a cold furnace do anything? Oh well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure so the steam powered a turbine. And drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, it isn't enough coal. The furnace is enormous, so we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Alright then, if the three of us work together, then maybe we should manage to fill it much faster. I want to help too. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Her fever's so high, why don't we stick her head in it and maybe she could light the coal on fire? Yeah, right. You were the one that was... Here look like a stiff breeze will not keep away from falling over, June. I think you'd better rest some more, alright? But No arguing. You need to rest. So you just stay here. We'll handle this. Okay, I understand. Alright, time for some manly work. Let's get this coal in the furnaces. Dude, desu desu kawaii. Man, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Yeah, alright, let's just light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that allows us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? This is the bottom of the massive boiler. Conveyor belt comes out sort of arc-shaped tunnel. Can't figure out how I'm supposed to light this thing. Junpei, have you thought about looking on the other side? You're right, I should take a look over there. No, this way. This is where the coal goes. Or would go if all three of these things hadn't rusted shut. Huge oven for this boiler. I don't see anything on the side that might ignite this thing. No. Wait, I think I know. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. No, not that way. Is this... I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we ignite the furnace. That means if we move this thing down... Alright, let's do it. Here we go! Hey, Junpei Ace, look at this! The big earths are turning under the boiler here. 1 gold, 1 bronze. Oh, 1 silver. Hello. The gears, they're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking! A gold disc. The gold disc has a number of lines engraved on it. I can make out 3 colors here, red, blue, and black. I wonder what they mean. Sorry about that. Big sneeze. Oh god, it's everywhere. My poor monitor. A bronze disc has a bunch of lines in it. 3 different colors, red, blue, and black. Oops, wrong gear. Gimme. The silver disc has a bunch of lines on it. The red ones really stand out, right? The red ones, huh? Alright, let's see if combining them matters, because I'm betting it doesn't. Combine. Nope. Nope. Okay. Pretty sure I know what to do with these. Stop clicking the wrong places, Haven! These lines on the disc, they remind me of an experiment. It looks like this thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like the outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if we put the 3 discs we found on this thing? There's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places? Perhaps you have to have them facing the right directions. Perhaps you should rotate the disc and make some of the lines connecting to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Instructions for operation. When the disc is touched, it will rotate a certain amount. When the white arrow is touched, the discs are switched. Please note that discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset. Okay, that definitely doesn't work. Ta-da! The red lines on the discs. I think maybe I can see a star polygon in these. You found it! Ha-ha! The way out achieved. Let's grab June and carry her here princess style if we have to and get the hell out. Yes! The door's open! Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Ace seemed to share his excitement. Alright, Junpei. Why don't you get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on this door. Santa snorted. Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We can just open it again. Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all 3 of us go and collect June then? Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it. He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down the stairs petulantly. You're only interested in being contrary. Ace sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent. Alright, I'll go get June. I'll be right back. Gave a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor, next to the conveyor belt and June. As he drew closer, she stood up slowly. Are you okay? He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding a genuine concern in his voice. Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry. June blushed. He wasn't sure if he was embarrassed or still feverish. Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead. Good. You're feeling a lot better. She was feeling far less warm than she had been earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him. Are you sure you're alright? He had to be sure. June gave him a look. Oh, you're such a warrior, Jumpy. Oops, I mean, warrior. June giggled. He wasn't sure if she just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she was really feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead. Let's go. Go where? Oh, right, I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so... Great! Let's go! June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. As they walked back towards the exit, Junpei noticed Santa sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him. What are you looking at? Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet. It's a photo. It's my sister. Sister? Santa, you've got a sister? Santa simply nodded. Yeah, kid was as cute as a button. June cocked her head, confused. Come on, chat, talk. Don't force people out of their comfortable position of lurking. Let them lurk. I'm fine with that. She was only about an inch tall then? Santa glared at her. Sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch? June, are you being funny or obtuse? I guess it could be both. Santa didn't smile or laugh. He simply turned back to his picture and spoke. I was her Santa Claus. This sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either. We didn't have parents. I bought it in an accident when we were still kids. So I had to be like her dad. That's 3 people with links to an accident. Then there's an accident that might have taken away Seven's memories. I don't like where this is going. And that meant I bought her Christmas presents every year. Christmas Eve, I'd leave presents next to her pillow. The next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look! Santa left me a present! Santa got me the doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got the letter I wrote. I was the one who told him to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had a letter, I'd go around a couple stores with the money I'd saved over the year and buy her the stuff she wanted. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year. Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to them suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or he didn't care. Santa kept talking. But one year, her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am. Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. It is super sweet. Also, potential for a very tragic story that could turn him into a killer like Zero. Damn it! Shit, sorry about that. I picked something off my desk and it knocked everything over. Anyway, damn this game for making me distrust literally everybody. I'm not even sure Junpei is immune to this, okay? God damn it. What happened? June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort. She died. She was killed 9 years ago. 9! The number 9! The number 9 scares me. There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away, her face pale. Alright, let's go. Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them 2 at a time. Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say. Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving. Come on. There's a lot of pictures in the game. It's called a visual novel, DJ Beats, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. A novel that is portrayed visually, through usually pictures and art. It's more common in Japan than it is in the US, but it's essentially, this game is a puzzle/visual novel game. Santa's voice echoed through the room above them. They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired. The door had shut, but it wasn't cause for concern. Junpei quickly solved this puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again. In single file? They walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, they found themselves at the front of the metal door. It opened easily enough, and they passed through it as well. A new room stretched out before them. Looks like a storage room. Is this a warehouse? No, I believe this is the cargo room. They must use it to store all of this vessel's freight. There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are. Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing and taking in new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through the momentary trance. Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going. Seek a way out. The cargo room, which we will have to take care of. Which button is it? That's not the right button. That's not the right button. Where is it? Where did I put that button? There we go. Would you like to overwrite this save file? Okay, which we will have to take care of next time. No, I don't want to quit. Because you see, that is the end of today's stream. My name is Lamar Haven. I stream Monday through Friday starting at 10 a.m. PST, that is 1 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, Thursdays I stream what you've seen here. 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. We're getting close, guys. I can feel it. We're getting close. The number 9 door is not far off. But I think we still have to go through one of the other doors first. We have to make sure we go through every single door, otherwise we won't have the right keys to make it. That's my theory. So we still have lots to do, and less than 3 hours in-game to do it. So we can, hopefully we can figure this out. But I'm very excited to find the mystery behind this game. Who is Zero, if they really are among our group, and I really suspect they are. Santa is now near the top of my list, which means he got 7 to help him, who we've been suspecting because of that oh-so-convenient amnesia. Yeah, I think I'm starting to see the grand picture. That said, get the digital root of the room. Yeah. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I stream Wild Arms 3 Blind, as chosen by you, the viewers. Keep in mind, there is a straw poll in the title. If you wish to vote for what I play after Wild Arms 3, that's where you do it. Wild Arms 3, however, is continuing longer than I thought. I only got to play 2 hours last time, so maybe Friday will finish? Perhaps? No, DJ Beats, this is the end of today's stream. However, 999 gets cross-posted to my YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, you can follow the link on screen or link below the stream to get to my YouTube channel. On YouTube, there are 2 YouTube-specific series. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they are Resident Evil 4 and The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. However, Wednesday's episodes got pushed to Thursday because I didn't manage my time very well. Sorry about that. And there's only going to be 2 Afterbirth episodes this week, probably, unless I can record one, like, today. I might not have time. We'll see if I can work it in. But I have to record, edit, upload that all today, and I might not have time for the rest of the day. That said, I am now done for the day. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you folks next time.